Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me again. I am Hatch, and today we're back attacking FF13-3. Lightning returns. Last episode, you see the big man up there, Bunavelza. I mean, he got the better of us. I mean, it's a final boss, first try, difficult game, it is what it is. So what you're actually seeing now is footage from the past. I'll explain. So, much in the same way that we had to do a little bit of editing magic for Ereshkigal, kind of the same thing here. Like, I knew if I wanted to kill the God of Light, I'm just gonna have to put the mic away and focus. So that's what we're getting here. So, in 100% honesty, I was kind of in for a, alright, how many attempts is this gonna take? You know, I'm flashing back to like FF13-2 and those damn, was it Diablo or was it Bahamut? I think it was like 3 Bahamuts. And I hated that final battle so much. So as tough as this game was, and basically as hard as he bought me the first time, I was kind of prepared for the dreaded, you know, 5, 6, 7 repeat. But I learned from my mistakes, I guess, quick enough. So the main thing that we're going to notice here, and it's a few minutes into this, is have to only take damage on the Splendid Admiral, which is this one right here. The Equilibrium is our main physical attack dealer. Actually, Soldier Peace, I guess, would be that, but only in special occasions, because he's got the, you know, the awesome Artemis arrows. But keeping track of what sphere, or what dress sphere, I'm still calling them dress spheres, like it's 10-2, schemata, whatever you want to call it, her outfits I'm on at that particular moment, because it's super important. Because if you look at my HP down there, there's a difference of about, you know, 12,000 HP between that one and the others. So even if something creeps through and I take some damage, as long as I'm on Splendid Admiral, it's only going to take a small percentage. So that's pretty key. But right here, you're kind of seeing the growth of exactly what you have to do with Bunavelza. Be patient. Be patient. And don't be afraid to bring the pain. Every boss fight, or just, I guess every fight in general up to this point, has been a lot about hurry up and stagger them and then go ham with the physicals. But as we learned in the last battle, he doesn't stagger too easy once he gets to that final form. So there's form 1 down. A lot more physical damage was done there, which is very key. Also, some of these phases are a bit of a pain in the ass. But now that I actually get a chance to focus on his design, I'm into it 100%. So the first one was kind of still, you know, a little holy. You know, he still had some light to him. Second form here, he's getting into full-on Reaper territory. Look at him. Casting Wings of Destruction and shit. Oh yeah, didn't block that one, did you? Come on, champ. Ice Spirit? I don't even remember what Ice Spirit does. I think it just gives him... Okay, he changes his element, that's right. And here we go. So this is the key. So the Equilibrium Plus here has the ultimate weapon on it that I kind of talked about last episode. So you end up with 2 ultimate weapons. The ultimate sword, which gives you chunks of damage, and the ultimate shield, which gives you all the HP, which is why Splendid Admiral has so much damn HP. But yeah, we're not wasting as much time in this one. So we're going to use a little bit of haste here. I think. I don't even remember what I did. Look, even me in the past is like, what do I use? No, we're just burning X potion, get back up to full. So yeah, there we see it. So the difference between 17 and 11 or 10 with the other builds. So yeah, a difference is a big chunk. So in the first battle, I was like, all right, this takes forever to cast. I need to just let him have it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm using the Ereshkigal strats here, where don't even wait for the finisher, just keep blasting with the 1 and 2. And you see the stagger gauge is going crazy. And then he finally breaks. But all that does is break him from doing that. I don't know what it does, because he still gets the attack off. And I even tried some physical damage on him while he was staggered, and it didn't do anything. That's fine. I still got 60k to finish him off right there. Alright, so now he's pissed. Now we're in phase 3. Yeah, now's when patience becomes super critical. Because he does not do single attacks at all anymore. As I say that, he does a single attack. Like I said, pay attention. Almagest, you have to block that. Like, if you don't, you're in trouble. Divine Punishments, that's a single. Most of the time he's going for like 4 to 5 hit combos here though. Holy Blade, that's just a buff. I forget what it does. There you go, see this one. That one's tough, because that one's hard to judge. Yeah, see 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, yeah, see 6. It's hard to tell when he's done, man. As soon as you get ready to drop your guard and go ham, he comes with the backhand. 1. See, at that time he only gave me 1. There's 2. See, that time, oh, okay. He gave me the delay. It's like he's playing Marvel vs. Capcom here, and I'm playing Final Fantasy. He's just practicing his fight strats. Let me see your anti-air. See, he even broke through my defense that time. I guess because he's got himself buffed. Alright, we're just trying to get to phase 4 now before we use that last X potion here, which we will do right there. Alright. So as you can see, physical attacks are the way to go. Try to get that D protect on him, and then go ham. Alright, so this is where he got us last time. And he is... there's no way around it. This final phase is rough, because he's not really giving you any feedback as we go. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Watch his health bar. Just keep your eyes on it. As I am just blasting him, trying to get a stagger or something. Here he goes with the elements. This is rough because of that. Like and as you see, of course it caught me. I wasn't ready for it. That is a weird, you know, lay it out and then wait. It's not a direct. Very hard to get the timing on that. But if you watch, every time I have to stop pounding him for a second, that stagger phase is gone. So this is where he calls out his little summon friends, and they float around me for a little while. This was really throwing me off in the first fight, because I kept expecting them to attack me or something. And then after they're done, they just go away and leave you with 1 HP. That's it. So that's a pretty good opportunity to get some damage in if you can. But be ready, because as soon as it's done, you are 1 hit away from dead, no matter what schemata you're on. And he got through my guard there, even though it was tripled. So he's obviously a little tougher than we remember. So we're going with the try to get some damage here, but nothing. And look, his stagger is gone instantly. So it's at this point I realize that I think I have the right idea. I just don't have the time to pull it off, because, you know, by the time that stagger gauge gets up there, I'm already, you know, trying to block or do something else. So I'm just trying physical here. That doesn't work. And look, his life bar hasn't budged. He's down like 2%. I'm hitting like 8 damage. That's it. It's embarrassing. Physical's not doing anything. So, yep, we're just going to overclock him. That's kind of the only thing for it. I mean, I'm running out of healing items here. There we go. So we got to get him staggered. So let's set the stage with the commando, and then just drop the pain on him. One more time. And that kind of gets him up far enough so he's like in the yellow, and then just keep hammering him. I don't even care if we take damage at this point. We got to get that stagger on him. There we go. Got the Rishkagal stats. I'm just gonna tank some damage here so I don't have to block. And then I blocked anyway. So hard that the capture software begins to stagger. But yeah, now he's in trouble. Now he's done. Now we just overclock, and now we're just putting the D protect on and go ham on him. Watch this. 660. 164. Come on, give me them crits. 162. 164. 162,000. Just like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you own a final boss, baby. Yes. Yay, I did it. Yes, so we're back now. That wasn't too bad. I mean, 4 stars. I'll take it. Oh, just shut your mouth, Bunavelza. Just leave it open through the entire thing. I mean, oh, well, thanks. Like to think I'm pretty brilliant myself. Now that he said it, it's true. It's out there. Later, Bunavelza. I'm gonna pinch it.
It belongs to humanity now. There's no place for you there.
No. I will not accept it. I will not allow it.
You don't have a choice. Oh, Mercury Tears.
I feel grief and pain. I feel anger.
Me too, man.
Voice of death. I cast you all
Uh-oh, he's pissed.
to the chaos. Into the shadows of death.
Yes, that's what I plan to do. The goddess of death is gone, and there's no one to control the chaos. Someone has to take Etro's place and protect the cycle of life. That someone is going to be me.
So cast me out. I don't care. I even got the Chaos Sword.
But before I do, I'm going to take you into the chaos with me.
That's my girl.
Is that your last resort? Your final desperate ploy? Do you think you can survive me?
I mean, I can give it a try.
It's too late for that. You have the power of a god, but you have the power of a human inside you as well. And now that human is going to destroy you. It's the final act in the death of a god.
What are you?
I bring you salvation.
What are you casting right now, Light? That was an anime cutscene,
This
wasn't
is
it?
the last soul I'll save. Hope, I'll set you free.
Oh, right between the eyes. Later, dude. That was a very Dragon Ball-esque cutscene, wasn't it? Let's have a conversation while stuff's blowing up everywhere about humanity and your soul. Hope, are you back? Are you the real Hope? If so, I got some questions for you, homie.
Lightning.
Yes.
Go.
Lightning!
Nope. She is chaos now.
Do you see it? Go. It's a new world. A world of hope. And it's waiting for you to be born again.
Oh, we hadn't seen Hope's parents in a long time.
You are their hope.
I can't see you. Where are you?
All around you, homie.
Light! What's going to happen to you?
No. You can't turn back or you'll never leave. I have to stay behind. Someone has to control the chaos.
Give me your hand.
I have to keep it safe forever. The new world, and you, and all of humanity. So go
Get out of here.
and live.
Okay. So Lightning is the Queen of Chaos now. And apparently is just, I don't know, got Bunavelza locked in a box or something.
Don't leave me.
Don't plan on it. I mean, it's
I
too
don't
late.
want to be alone.
I've already sacrificed myself.
Sarah,
Hey, Sarah.
Not quite.
Hmm?
What's in here?
me.
Wait a second.
You're not really her?
Oh, fake Sarah.
No. I'm just a fake made by God. I'm missing something important,
Okay.
just like you are.
Yes, it's true. God cut part of me away when I woke as the savior.
No. It wasn't God's doing. Do you want to know who it was? You.
What? No.
It happened a long time ago. You wanted so much to be strong. You wanted to grow up so fast, you got rid of everything that made you weak.
When was this?
So you'd never have to back down. So no one could ever make you cry. You locked your heart away.
Uh-oh. Oh no, is Sarah the actual final boss?
Do you remember? What you tried to do? You tried to kill me.
You're me. Young.
Oh, okay.
I'm Claire Farron. Her selfishness, her loneliness, her fear. That little bit of your soul that you couldn't accept. You look like you're home. Like you belong in the chaos.
I have no choice. Someone has to stay behind to keep the new world
I'm so confused.
going.
And that's how you hide your true feelings. You convince yourself with logic.
I mean, yeah, that's what I do too.
Make it sound rational to cut away parts of yourself. You deserve to be alone.
Sarah? Sarah! No! Wait!
Yes.
Don't go!
Please don't go. I have so many questions.
Please! Don't! Don't leave me alone!
All right, so
I
Lumina,
need you. Help me.
help me too. So Lumina is lightning, like her repressed self. But Lumina has been over chaos already. So is Light already the goddess of chaos? Maybe she was just the tie between her and Etro, so Etro assigned it to her automatically, but she couldn't accept it until Beelzebub, Bunavelza was gone. So, like, part of her was already that. And that's how she, I guess, fooled Bunavelza into picking her as the savior, because she removed that part of her completely.
We could hear you, Light. Let's go. We'll be together.
I think that's it. I think that's it. That's a bit of a stretch, but
Sarah, you came to save me. Even though you were never real.
Yes, I was a fake. Sarah's soul wasn't inside me,
so why'd you do it?
but I could imagine it.
I could imagine it. Okay.
I could imagine what,
What?
the real Sarah would feel.
All right, that's a stretch.
That's how I did it. I tried to think the same thoughts as she would, and I imagined the love that she must have felt for you. God hadn't given me a heart, but even so, I could dream. It was just a lie, a fake. But the feelings became real.
Interesting.
I love you. I always have.
All right, so Bunavelza brought about his own downfall. So did he do it on purpose? That's going to be the big question. Because he created fake Sarah to, you know, give Lightning the strength. Fake Sarah, yes, we have been born again on this planet. Whichever planet this one is. Okay. Whew, I got to stretch after that one. So, that was a long journey. So, after all was said and done, I think the first thing I want to do is pull up my save files just to see how epic this journey was, because I know how epic it feels upon finally completing it. Like I said, these are 3 full-length JRPGs. And roughly surrounding the same characters. So we got to be talking about like 160, 200 hours to finish this thing. And I'm honest with you, it's a big weight lifted. It almost broke me trying to do a Let's Play of this. For reasons that we'll talk about in a second. But the whole purpose was finishing the cycle, right? You know, I first played the first 13 back in whenever it was launched. Was that 09, 2010? So, in seeing that it took 12 years to get these things done, I think it's kind of speaks a lot to kind of what JRPGs are in general and how sequels work. Because real honesty, as soon as because these games came out fairly back to back, like there was 2 or 3 years in between them, I think. The first one I think was 09 and this one was 13, so there was 2 years in between. But I don't know about you, but I need time to ruminate on these things before jumping back in. So you know, I would pick the game up and then wait until the time was right. Like, wait till you miss it so much and then jump back in. And that's kind of where this one gets a little unique, because it's so much different than the previous ones. And difference is kind of the epitome of this entire series. I mean, we had 3 different games with 3 completely different gameplay styles. And I mean that, not just from the battle system, which was based on the same thing, but changed a lot as the series went on, but in how the game progressed as well. You know, the first one was very linear. The second one was kind of pick and choose where and when you want to go, but hit the key points. And then this one was kind of off the rails with just... You've got a lot to do and not many days to do it, and you kind of go at your own pace. It was just, there's a lot of stuff thrown at the wall here. Some of it stuck, some of it, you know, for better or worse, it's whatever. So where does this, let's, I kind of want to rank these. First, I have learned from my past mistakes. Normally I just ramble on about how I'm feeling about the game, and you know, you're kind of caught up in the emotion and you end up skipping or missing. But a couple things to touch on here. Number one, this was a beautiful game. Like I said, this game came out in 2013 and still holds up. Like, that final cutscene was absolutely stunning. I really loved the art design of the entire trilogy. And that's kind of Final Fantasy in general. Like, as far back as I can remember, like even playing FF6 for the first time on Super Nintendo, I was like, this is beautiful. And so, you know, they kind of have that MO, and this one definitely followed suit. The music, we're listening to it right now. Another mainstay of the Final Fantasy series is music, and in the handful of games that I didn't love, that was one of the things that always stood out to me. So in those couple of games that may or may not have had music to live up to the FF name, it really stands out, but this one did not disappoint. Outstanding music. Third is the challenge. Fuck me, this game was hard. If you'll notice, like the 2 legit boss fights in this game, I had to turn the mic off. This is a little out of the ordinary for me. Because it's so fast. You know, you got to stay focused. You got to somehow pay attention to what you're doing. You know, Commando versus Ravenger. You know, trying to stagger, but also which build you're on, because you know, like with that last fight, the only way you're surviving that fight is if you are only taking damage on that one particular schemata. So, because that's the one that has all the HP on it, and if you're taking damage on the other one, you're screwing yourself. So, and oh, by the way, keep track of what they're doing and all the chaos that ensues. It's a lot to look at. As far as action RPGs go, it's by far one of the most in-depth and very difficult ones that I've ever played. So, very good challenge. It was a fair challenge. Now, when I say fair, like the final boss only took me twice, whereas the secret boss, Aresh Kagal, he was just a son of a bitch. Like, even looking it up on YouTube and seeing exactly how to beat him, it still took me 5 or 6 tries. So the challenge was there. So moving on, what I did not love about this game, no party. I can't yell this to the skies enough. It's a Final Fantasy game where you don't get a party, even though characters are a big part of this. And that final sequence encapsulated a lot of that frustration that I was feeling throughout the entire game. It's the end of a journey with all of these characters that I don't get to have with me on the journey. You know, it felt a little empty. And I get that ties into the storyline. Like, you're supposed to kind of feel that way because you're the savior and everyone has already sacrificed themselves and all that. But man, I really didn't like it. I think it's something that I would have dealt with. But then they give you a party for a second. You know, you get the chocobo, you get Fang for a hot second, and as soon as they're there, you're like, okay, now I'm into it. Like, legitimately, now this is awesome. And then they're gone again. So, you know, if you're going to take it away, just take it away. Don't give me little bits of it and then rip them. So it's really going to make it stand out. I think working in something like they did with 13-2, where your other party member is a monster that you capture and raise, you know, that Pokemon element to that one, I think would have served really, really well here, especially when it ties into the stuff about, you know, the last ones. Like, there's only a limited amount. Like, you know, if you manage to wipe out this entire species, the only one left will be in your party, that type of thing. I think that would have been very well served. The storyline, because of the nature of how the gameplay works, you're kind of back and forth and all over the place, and it really lacks that full narrative thread that a Final Fantasy has to have to be great. So they ended up doing a lot of filler in between the big story elements, which I completely played off camera because they're not interesting. You know, it was a lot of help this farmer find his daughter, or my sheep have escaped, can you find them? Or the annoying one that we saw where my restaurant is failing, can you help me? It was a lot of just kind of busy work to tie together what was ultimately the kind of bare bones story, which once again doesn't match the overall theme. Like, this is an epic story that was originally set up. You know, you're brought back, you're the savior, you're gonna take down God. Like, that's a huge setup. And then immediately within the first, you know, couple hours, you're just off doing fetch quests, and you're like, oh, never mind. Apparently that's not what we're doing. So when it was a major story, it felt good. But when it wasn't, which was, you know, the entire rest of the game, it suffered for it. So, but if we just look at this game as far as like the beginning, the major plot points, and the end, solid. There just wasn't enough of it. So, final thoughts. I'm happy that the trilogy happened. Originally, when I heard they were making, you know, the 13 into a trilogy, I really wasn't on board with it, because anytime you hear that news, you're like, but what about the next game? You know, what about FF14 and FF15? Why are you continuing this storyline instead of doing what Final Fantasy normally does and just creating a whole new characters for the next series? But it meant we got to spend a lot of time with some very cool characters, in particular Lightning and Sarah. I really want to throw out this as I believe that they may be the coolest sister combo in video games. They offset very well, and considering the fact that we got games starring both of them in the lead role, I think really adds something to the back end of it. But a lot of fun. It ended up being a journey that is always going to be very memorable. How will this game fare in the long run, I think, is going to be the gist of this trilogy in general. FF13 doesn't get a lot of love, and like, I get it. Like, I just railed off a lot of reasons why you shouldn't like it, but I still do. You know, it still hits a lot of those Final Fantasy important tropes, which you know, I mean, yeah, if you got to look for them, they're there, but it still does everything right. So, solid game. Will I be doing New Game Plus to get all the rest of the trophies? Fuck no. Not even a little bit. Which is why I'm really salty about this game, because it's an RPG that expects you to play through it multiple times to get everything. That's not how RPGs work, man. It should be a great experience that time. Do everything you got to do, even if it takes 90 hours, and then live with your memories, right? Twist. I appreciate it. That was pretty cool. All right, so where does this game stand in the Final Fantasy lore? Let's rank them by the trilogy. So, A Legend from Times Past, I'll take it. As a trilogy, I think this is, I'm right away. Top one is FF13-2. I really loved that game. I loved the Pokemon elements of having that other party member, and the time travel stuff. There was a lot of cool elements played with there. So it ends up coming down to 13 or 13-3, which I don't think I can put this one in front of 13. Just because for all the issues that 13 had that they fixed along the way with the sequels, the story was absolutely epic and extremely confusing. So yeah, I think I got to put this one in last place, which isn't saying, you know, that much. But going back to the legacy of the trilogy in general, I really don't know. I mean, it's going to take time, of course, you know. I remember when FF12 came out, I did not like it at all. And now that we're, whatever, 15 years out, everyone loves that game because, yeah, it did various things. And in playing this game in particular, I see a lot of that. Like, they did a lot of stuff for the first time here, especially with the action RPG stuff that I think a lot of people can gravitate towards, but will they? I think that's the inevitable. Because a lot of the action stuff that they have in this felt a lot like what they did in 15. And so I think that might overshadow a lot of that. But Lightning as a character, I think, is going to be the sticking point of how the 13 trilogy is remembered. And that's how it will always be remembered to me, because she's by far one of my favorite FF main characters. She really comes full circle over the course of it. So. Alright, so I'm out of here. I've ran my mouth enough. Thank you for sitting through my Final Fantasy bullshit. I promise there'll be more of it, just because I'm a glutton for punishment. That's how I roll. But you know that. Later.
The best of me. Down, 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 down. You gotta turn up, down.